Hi everyone. Yes, am I audible? So let me just check. Okay, so functions of human skeleton we are going to discuss today. Okay, so functions of yeah, I'm audible. All right. So yes, so before I start, let me introduce myself. I am Vani Kari, biology educator at Unacademy. I'm an engineer with bachelor's and master's degree in biotechnology and a B.Ed degree. Also a founder of a startup where I grow microgreens by vertical farming technology. So let's get started. Before that, let me say about the Telegram channel. So for homework and class notes, you can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE class 9 and 10. Okay, so Telegram channel, so you can click on this link. So this you will find in the description box. Okay, so you can click on the link and join this channel. Okay, so this is Unacademy ICSE and ISC boards channel. All right, so then Unacademy free special class features. So we are conducting a special classes on Unacademy. Okay, so these are absolutely free. So there also you have a option of chat. Okay, so chat is available, so you can ask question, or maybe you can interact with the educator and the other students as well. So like other than that, there are emojis also. Okay, so ask questions using a question tab. So since there might be lot of the comments might be coming, so it might your question might get lost. Okay, so for that reason, so separately we have a question tab there where you can type in your question and attach an image and you can send it to the educator. So this is during a live class itself, and they will be getting a notification and they'll clear your doubt. Okay, other than that, so we are conducting a poll war also, or maybe the quiz, what we call. Okay, so quiz we are conducting on Unacademy app. Okay, so here the question will be there, options will be there. So when we give a poll, so you will get the options A, B, C and D. Okay, so with this you can you can choose the correct answer there. And also we will be sharing the leaderboard. Okay, so that you will know your rank. So leaderboard is basically you'll be knowing your ranks, like first, whether you have come first or second or third, so that you can understand, so you can compete with your friends there. Alright, so Unacademy subscription features, so you can learn live from the comfort of your home. So unlimited access to all the courses. So we have different courses that are going on. Okay, so you will have access to all those courses if you are taking a plus subscription. Okay, so top educators of India are going to take the classes in one platform, that is Unacademy platform. So there is a regular doubt clearing session and answer writing sessions will be conducted. That means, so after about every 3 classes, okay, so we will be conducting one session. Okay, and this fourth session will be a doubt clearing session where you can clear your doubts related to the topics that are covered in the previous 3 sessions. Okay, so complete coverage of a syllabus will be done. So we are going to complete the full syllabus here. Mentorship and guidance is given, study material is given, the practice tests are given, the live test series, batch courses. So you will have access to all of these if you are taking a plus subscription. With that, you will also have access to this daily practice section, weekly mock test series, the live quizzes which we will be conducting, then daily MCQ and subjective test series. So you will have access to all of this. So let's say you are planning to take a subscription, so for class 9, okay, so you can try with, so if you want to just try like how exactly this works, so you can go for 6 months of subscription there. Okay, so if you want to if you are planning to complete your class 10 or 11, 12, so all of this, so you can go for any of these months. Okay, based on your convenience, like how you are planning, so you can go for any of these months. And you can use my referral code VANIYT. Okay, so with this referral code you will be getting 10% off on the subscription. So basically you are getting 10% discount if you are using the code, that is VANIYT. YT. Okay, so there is a mega offer for you all. So this is offer for plus subscribers. So ICSE class 9 and 10 and ISC class 11 and 12. Okay, so let's say you are buying a 12 months or more of a subscription. Okay, so you will get extra free month subscription there. Okay, so get free 2 months extension. Let's say you are buying 12 months of subscription, so basically you are getting 14 months of subscription there. Okay, and this offer is valid for the first 500 subscribers only. So flat 10% discount you will get here on purchasing a plus subscription. So this is of any duration. Okay, so you can also get in touch with your counselor. So if you are confused about your preparation journey or queries, so if you are having any queries about the subscription, okay, or want to know about the latest offers, so you are just one call away. So you can call on this number. Okay, and you whatever queries you have, you can ask them over here. And if you are planning to take a subscription, so you can use this referral code Vani YT to get 10% off. Okay, so the topic that I am going to cover in today's class is about the skeletal system. So let's see the introduction related to the skeletal system, the functions of a human skeleton we will see, the constituents of a skeleton we will see, like what exactly are them. Okay, so structure of a bone we will see. Okay, so skeletal system when we can say, okay, so this consists of bones. So there are bones, there are cartilages, and they play a significant role in the body movement as well. Okay, so they play a significant role in body movement. So how exactly, the skeleton has provided a joints there. So with the movement in the joint, so you can move your body. So then there is a connective tissue. So this one bone when we mention, or the cartilage when we mention, so these are connective tissues. Okay, so they are having a very hard matrix due to presence of calcium salt as compared to a bone. Okay, so cartilage is somewhat flexible. Okay, so flexibility, elasticity is provided here in the cartilage, but not with respect to bones. Okay, so this is very hard matrix will be there, as there is a calcium deposition in the matrix. So skeletal system, so human body is having about 206 bones and a few cartilages will be there. So you can see this is the outline of a human body, and above that you will find different type of tissue, but this one is actually a connective tissue, that is with respect to bone also or the cartilage. Okay, so this one is a connective tissue. Now, so functions of skeletal system when we mention, so they will protect the internal organs from the injury. So they'll also help in the movement. So they'll also help in the production of blood cells. Okay, so then other than that, so store minerals. So that is the calcium storage, phosphorus storage. So this is all done, and also the nutrients. So all this storage will be done by the bone. Okay, so let's see what is given in your textbook now. So functions of human skeleton, so mainly they have mentioned 3 functions, so we will see each one of these in detail now. All right, so now the skeleton in our body, okay, so this will provide a support and shape. So we are all in this particular shape, or okay, and the support, so for standing or for sitting, so any position that you are in. Okay, so for all that, the support is provided by this supportive framework. So that is a bone. Okay, so that is the bone, the skeletal system what we mentioned. So skeleton provides a support or framework to all the soft parts, and it is going to give the body a particular shape. So it is basically defining its shape there. Okay, so a particular shape can be mainly because of the skeletal system itself. So the internal organs, so we have very delicate organs. So there is a lung, then we have a heart. Okay, so these delicate organs are protected. Okay, so that is by the bone itself. So the bony coverage will be there. So same with respect to your head also. So there is a brain. Okay, so cranium part of the skull is protecting your brain there. Okay, so same way the protection is also is the second function. So support and shape is the another function. Okay, so here imagine if you did not have a small pieces of bones here in the hand. Okay, so phalanges we will mention, right? So phalanges in your fingers, so if these were not there, would you be able to hold a pen? So just with this muscular tissue, so it was not possible, you know. The this one now, okay, I mean the bone, what is there? So this is again essential. Okay, then you know we have this the tissues over it. Okay, so there are sensory cells to get a sensation also. Okay, so only if we are holding on to something, so sensation has to be there, support has to be there. So that is why, so support is required to hold on to something in a hand, or maybe when we are walking, so there has to be a support. Okay, so that is being provided by the skeletal system. So several delicate and important organs are well protected by a casing of a bone. So this we already discussed. So skull is gonna protect the brain. Okay, so brain I said. Okay, so skull will be protecting the brain. The vertebral column, that is the backbone, is protecting the spinal cord, and the ribs are protecting the heart, lungs, and so on. Okay, so all these delicate organs, you know, internal organs, so they can get damaged if they are not being provided with any protection. So in that case, all these delicate organs are being provided protection, that is by the bony skeleton itself. Then other than that, movement. Okay, so movement, when we mention, so many bones are joined to each other in a manner. Okay, so many bones are joined to each other, so basically, so movement can occur. So now in one direction only the movement is occurring here. So if I want to reverse, like if I want to completely bend this one, so this is not possible. Okay, so here when we mention that, so many bones are joined to each other in a manner that one bone can be moved on the another. Okay, so one bone movement we can see with respect to the another. So these movements are brought about by the muscles. Okay, so muscles actually are going to help, you know, there is a attachment of this muscle. Okay, so muscle attachment will be there, so muscle is attaching to the bone, so that is done with the help of a tendon. Okay, so tendon, what is there? So this is responsible for attaching bone with the muscle, and when that is done, you know, the movement can be easier in this case. So these movements are brought about by muscles which originate on one bone and are inserted on the another one. Alright. So now moving on to the next one. So leverage. Okay. So leverage, when we mention, so some bones and joints are going to form a lever. Okay. So there is a lever mechanism which we can mention. So that is basically increase the speed of a distance of movement by a muscle. So now here, so you have a bone over here, a joint is there. Okay, so these form a lever, so these are going to form. Now when so now I have this folded hand. All right, so now if I want to stretch my hand, okay, so the increase in speed and distance of the movement is occurring. So you can keep your hand over here. Okay, so you will realize that the muscles are actually contraction and relaxation with your muscle is occurring. Okay, so there is a movement that is occurring at your muscle, so you can just keep a hand here and you can feel. Okay, so increase the speed and distance of a movement, so that will be done by the muscle itself, as there is a contraction and relaxation is happening with respect to your muscle. So for example, contraction of only a few centimeters by the bicep muscle swings the hand swiftly through an arc of more than a foot. So basically, so if we have, you can so our hand can move in the feet direction. So this is more than a foot, so this is gonna move. So that is mainly the bicep muscle swings, which it is gonna swing in this way. Okay, so there is a stretching which is done here, so because of that we can move our hand a bit further. Okay, so formation of blood cells. So here let me just draw the bone marrow over here. Okay, so this one is now a bone. All right, so this one over here is a bone which is present. Okay, so now this bone, when we mention, let me just make changes. So bone, when we draw, so you can see the structure of a bone will be somewhat like this. So let's say this is a bone structure now, all right. So now here in this case, so you can find, you know, the red bone marrow you can find in spaces as such, okay, because as there is a tubercle, so the space is like a sponge, it appears like a sponge over there, okay. So now here you will find a red bone marrow, okay. So this one is a red bone marrow at both the ends, okay. So this is at the both the end. So red bone marrow can synthesize RBCs there, okay. So formation of blood cell, when we mention, so here itself the platelet formation can also occur, okay. So this is with respect to platelets formation, all right. Now when we mention about the yellow bone marrow, so where do you find a yellow bone marrow? So yellow bone marrow is found in the center over here, okay. So yellow bone marrow is responsible for formation of WBCs, okay. So WBCs are synthesized in the yellow bone marrow, and at the red bone marrow, so you can see the RBC synthesis and also the platelet synthesis can occur because of the megakaryocytes. Okay, so here in this case now the bone marrow, okay, so bone marrow is the one which is having the capacity to synthesize the different cells. So that is mainly because of the stem cells, okay. So stem cells are the ones which are responsible. So certain types of blood cells, okay, that is including red and white blood cells. So we have a red cell and a white blood cells. So these are formed in the tissue of the central hollow space or the marrow of some of the long bones, okay. So bones are the storehouse of a calcium. So this is the sixth function which is mentioned here, okay. So bones, when we mention, so they will be having a lot of calcium which will be stored in them, and a phosphorus. You know, the calcium is used for again making of bones itself. The calcium is used in blood clotting process, okay. So phosphorus, if we are mentioning, so this is having a main role with respect to movement that is going to occur. So with this again, let's say DNA formation or nucleic acid formation, the phosphorus is having a role. ATP synthesis, the phosphorus is having a role. So it is required in a larger amount. So now all these functions are done by the bone itself. Any doubt till here? I hope it is clear. So let me just check this. Okay, all right. So constituents of bone, okay. So bone, here our skeleton consists of bones, okay. So cartilages are there, the ligaments are there, okay. So all these parts will form, you know, the skeleton system when we mention. So there are bones, there are cartilages, and there are ligaments as well, okay. So this will comprise of the hard framework of the body, okay. So you know, most of our body parts, what are there, okay. So all these internal organs are supported by a bone itself, okay. So here in this case now the cartilages are there. So these cartilages are the supporting and the connecting structures which we can find, okay. So let's say there is a bone over here, okay. So bone is there. So this bony part, what is there, so it is supported by a cartilage in between. So there has to be a cartilaginous support, so that is in order to avoid a friction, okay. So here, you know, there is a cartilaginous support, here there will be a cartilaginous support, again there is a cartilaginous support. So cartilaginous support will also be there for a bone, okay. So for example, the cartilage supporting the projecting external, so this was with respect to vertebral column, I said, okay. So this is with respect to vertebral column. So same way, you know, your pinna, okay, ear pinna, then the nose part, what is this? So all of these are actually providing a kind of a protection itself, or we can say a support, okay. So mainly these are the supporting structures, okay, and they are also connecting structures, so that is why it is a connective tissue. So support is being provided there, okay. So ligaments, when we mention, so these will bind the bones together. So now there is one bone, okay, so there is one particular bone over here. All right, so I'll just change the pen color. Okay, so now this bone to bone connection, okay, so these two bones are connected to each other. So that is because there is a synovial membrane is anyway there, a joint capsule is there. So there is a ligament which is holding or which is connecting these two bones strongly, okay. So at this ligament is there mainly for joining the bones together itself, okay. So one second, I'll just make certain changes. So this yellow color was not visible, right? Okay. So here the bone, when we mention, so the main component of our skeleton is the bone, okay. So it will have the organic part, it will have the inorganic part as well, okay. So now the inorganic part is basically, you know, only it will form nearly 2/3 of the entire bone substance, okay. So includes the calcium and the phosphorus. So this we already discussed that the matrix of this bone, what is there? So this matrix is completely, it will have the stored inorganic calcium, okay. So calcium will be there, inorganic one. So this is actually organic when we mention, so it can be carbohydrate, protein, lipid, nucleic acid. So all those are going to form the organic compounds, which are mainly having the carbon based compound, and this one is inorganic one, so that is the calcium, phosphorus, so all the different minerals what are there, so they come under the inorganic part. So there is the inorganic part also, there is the organic part also in a brain, okay. So now here, if a bone is placed in weak hydrochloric acid, so let's say I will be taking a hydrochloric acid here, okay. So this one is a HCl, okay. So this is a HCl now, all right. So weak hydrochloric acid is. Now if a bone is placed in a weak hydrochloric acid, so what will happen? The mineral part of it, okay. So this is removed from it, that means it is gonna get dissolved. So let's say I am going to place a bone over here in this HCl, okay. So I'll be placing a bone here in the HCl. So what will happen? The mineral part which is over here, okay. So all the mineral parts, so mainly the calcium part, okay. So there is a calcium and then there is a phosphorus part, okay. So all these are gonna get dissolved, okay. So they will get dissolved here, one second. Okay, so they will get dissolved and the remaining organic framework is left behind. So there is a remaining organic framework which is, so organic framework when we mention, so that is basically, you know, carbohydrates can be there can be proteins, so there can be lipids, okay. So these can be there over there, but the mineral part is completely gone, okay. So here in this case now, all right, one second. Alright, so now such a bone is called as a decalcified bone. That means, so calcium, the bone from where the calcium is removed, so that we call as the decalcified bone, okay. So that means the mineral part is gone, only the organic part is left out. And now this organic part which is left out, so let's say this is completely gone here, and in the center we will find the organic part, okay. So this organic part which is remaining from the bone, so this we can tie it into a knot also like this, okay. So since it is a organic part, so this will be softer, so this will be flexible also, so that is why we can tie this organic part into a knot also, okay. So this is with respect to the decalcified bone. Now on the other hand, so let's say if a bone is strongly heated, so let's say bone is there, okay. So let's say we are taking a bone again now, okay. So if this bone is strongly heated, so we are going to heat this bone. Okay, so this is by providing a flame. So we are going to heat this bone now. All right. So now in this case, what is going to happen? So the only mineral part. So here the mineral part which is there. Okay. So this mineral part is going to become ash. Okay. So this is with respect to mineral part. Okay. So mineral part will remain. Okay. So that is in the form of ash itself. So this will remain, and organic matter. So here you were able to find the red bone marrow, and here there was a yellow bone marrow. So only this organic matter what was there. Okay. So this organic matter is going to destroy. It is going to get destroyed completely. Okay. So here with that, so now such a bone when we mention, so this is gonna turn brittle and it will quickly break. Okay, so this is gonna quickly break as there is no organic part. So with age, as in old people. Okay, so the people, I mean the old people bones are so we say that they are not stronger. Okay, so that they can easily break off. Okay, so as that they are brittle and they can quickly break. So that is mainly the mineral part is there. So only the mineral part is there. The organic part of a bone is reduced. Okay, and that is why the bone becomes more fragile. So that means it can be easily broken, which can like taking much time. So which is going to become fragile, making much time in rejoining after a fracture. So if one is having a fracture, okay, that is in the old age, so joining these two bones is gonna get difficult there. All right. So structure of a typical long bone we will see. Any doubts you have till here? So this is with respect to structure of a typical long bone. I hope there are no doubts. So let me just check this. The chat is anyway not visible. Okay. All right. Okay, so structure of a typical long bone when we mention, so there is a thigh bone. Okay, so there is a bone over here, okay, in your thighs. So this thigh bone, it is actually, so there are actually mineral part will be there, organic part. So it is not all the time the bone what is there. So it might have certain contents like what we mentioned with respect to organic and inorganic. So inorganic part is always there. Okay, so but here when we mention, so it is a highly calcified, that is mineralized, hard and a rigid connective tissue. Okay, so this one is a hard and it is a very rigid connective tissue and is very strong and can withstand severe stresses also. So this consists of bone cells. So there are osteocytes which are present, which are arranged in the form of a concentric ring. So let's say this is an osteocyte now. Okay, so osteocytes look somewhat like this itself, and if all these are arranged like this in a concentric ring, so they are forming a ring structure over here. Okay, so they are going to form a concentric ring. So like this they'll be arranged. So let's say we are just representing it like this. So they are always arranged in a ring form like this. Okay, so in a concentric ring. So again there is a ring structure, again there is a ring structure. So like this these osteocytes are always arranged. Okay, so embedded in a ground matrix. So this will be a ground matrix which will be present here. So let's say this is a part now. Okay, so there is a ground matrix which is present. So this ground matrix will have a collagen fibers also. Okay, so there can be collagen fibers which might be present, and with that mineral salts are also present. So this will be completely calcium can be there. So let's say this is a matrix, and in the matrix there is a calcium which is present. So calcium is present and also the phosphorus is present. So these are going to get deposited at the matrix itself. Okay, so here this one is a hyaline cartilage. So at the end of the bone, so let's say this is a bone now. Okay, so always most of the cases you will find that at the end of a bone there is a cartilaginous covering will be there. So this is going to provide a support to the bone. Okay, so there is a cartilage which is present. Okay, so that we call as a hyaline cartilage. So spongy bone. So why do we call it as a spongy bone? So spongy bone, when we mention, so it is not a soft one or something like that. So you know, when you observe a sponge, okay, so there are spaces, cavities are visible, right? So same way here, when we observe the bone, so there are spaces which are available. So that is mainly because of arrangement of tubercle, like you know, tissues, like arrangement of tissues will give this spongy appearance. And you know, this one is a spongy bone now because of the appearance, but this is stronger bone, so it's not that it will be flexible or it can be easily broken. So spongy bone is a stronger bone itself, only based on the arrangement it appears as sponge. Okay, so red bone marrow will be there, so in between you can find a red bone marrow over there. Okay, and then other than that, so this one is a shaft part and this one is a knob part. Okay, so at knob you can find these structures, all right, that is a spongy bone you can find, and this one is a shaft where you will find the organic part. Okay, so fat yellow marrow will be there, so this one is a yellow marrow. Hyaline cartilage is there, so ligament is there to connect the bone to bone. Okay, then spongy bone with trabeculae with red bone marrow, so there is a trabeculae also which is there, so that is the arrangement of these tissues inside the bone. Okay, so compact dense bone it is, all right. So now moving on to the next one. Here the external surface of the bone is covered by a membrane called as a periosteum. So there is a periosteum membrane. So this is a external surface. Okay, so let's say there is a bone now. Okay, so this bone is present here. Okay, so this is the bone and there is a covering for this one. Okay, so the external surface of the bone, it is always covered here with the periosteum. Okay, so periosteum is basically a membranous covering which is there for a bone. All right, so now which consists of a outer fibrous and inner cellular layers. Okay, so that means now here with respect to periosteum, so there is a outer one. Okay, so this outer part, so let's say this outer part which is there, so that is somewhat fibrous in nature. Okay, so this is fibrous and there is one more layer which is there, so that inner layer is actually a cellular one. Okay, so this one inner layer is cellular layer. Okay, so then this cellular layer, it is richly supplied with the blood vessels. So here this one, so this cellular layer is having a blood vessels. Okay, that means for the working of proper working of a bone marrow, that is mainly the organic part, so it requires energy. Okay, so energy it requires, and you know, so supply of oxygen and nutrient supply, so all that will be done by the blood vessel itself, which is again the inner cellular layer is having a blood vessels, right? So that is why here in this case, so these blood vessels which are there, so they are going to supply the nourishment for the working. Okay, so this is supplied with the blood vessel. So a long bone is having a hollow cavity in the middle. Okay, so which is filled with the bone marrow, and that we call as a yellow bone marrow. Okay, which will be of adipose tissue. So this is mainly of a adipose tissue will be there, and also you know, there are blood vessels which give rise to white blood cell. Okay, so WBCs are also formed here. Okay, so the blood vessels which give which give rise to white blood cells, then red bone marrow you can find in here. Okay, so over here you can find a red bone marrow which is present at the end. So this is a knob now. Okay, so at knob you can find a red bone marrow, and this one at the shaft. Okay, so at shaft you can find a yellow bone marrow. All right, so which is present at the ends. Okay, so these are present at the end, and these are responsible mainly for the production of RBCs. Okay, so red blood cell production occurs over here in the bone marrow itself. Okay, so one more thing that I need to mention here. So there is osteoblast. Okay, so there are cells called as osteoblast. Okay, so this is with respect to brain, bone. Okay, so then there is osteoclast. All right, then there is osteocyte. Okay, so here as you read, so there is a osteocyte which is given here. Okay, so you can see here, so osteocyte. So osteocytes, when we mention, so these are mature cells. Okay, so these are mature cells, and these are going to form a bone. Okay, so bony structure formation. Okay, so bone formation or bony structure formation, so that is mainly because of the osteo. So all these bones, what are they? So they will have the osteocytes throughout. Okay, so osteocytes will be there. Osteoblast is, for the forming cell. Then osteoclast is basically when the cell is the dead cell has to be formed, because the cell which is already formed, so that might be, it is having a particular lifespan. So the to get rid of the unwanted cell, so we can use the osteoclast as well. Any doubt till here? Any doubt? I hope not. Okay, so I'll continue with the quiz. Okay, so I'll give the question. So this is all done. Okay, so let's see this one. So ligaments bind the muscles together. Yes, does the ligament bind the muscle together? So this is with respect to ligaments binding the muscles together. Yes, true or false? So ligaments, do they bind the muscles together, or something else? So here in this case now, it is false. Okay, so ligament, when we mention, so there is a bone. Okay, so let's say this is a bone which is there. All right, there is one more bone as such. Okay, so there is one more bone which is present. So these two bones, between the bones, so there has to be a connection. So for the moment, so there is a synovial fluid. So let's say there is a synovial fluid is there, then the synovial membrane. So this one is a synovial membrane. Okay, then we have joint capsule will be there, that is to keep this synovial membrane intact, and also to to keep the joint in a specific moving movement. Okay, now after this we will find a ligament. Okay, so there is a ligament connection which is actually joining both of these bones. Okay, so both the joints are, okay, so this is ligament bind the bones together, not the muscle. So these both bones are joined together by a ligament. So this one we call as a ligament, which holds on to both of the bones together. So same way if we mention, so let's say there is a bone here. Okay, so over here is a bone, and the bone is connected with the muscle there. So let's say here is the muscles. Okay, so muscle fibers are there, so this is connecting. So now muscle to bone connection, so this one is a muscle here and the bone. So muscle to bone connection is done through the tendon. Okay, so these things if you remember, so muscle to bone it is tendon, bone to bone it is ligament. Okay, so any doubt here? So cartilages are supporting and connecting structures. So whether this one is true or false. Okay, so cartilages, are they supportive, or are they connective also? Yes, it is true. Okay, so why exactly this is true? That the cartilages are actually, they come under the connective tissues itself. Okay, so these are the connective tissue where the connection is occurring. So it is basically, so if I have to take an example now, so these bone to bone connection. Okay, so this one is a bone, vertebral column bone. Okay, and so in between you can find a cartilaginous support. Okay, so support is there, it is also connecting link. So same way with respect to other parts. So in trachea, okay, so let's say there is a trachea. So C-shaped cartilaginous rings you will find in a trachea. Okay, so this one is again the support. For the support itself, the cartilages are present. So cartilage is one such thing, which is supporting and the connecting, which is actually a connecting and a supporting structure. So it is true here. Okay, so yes, before I end the session, so let me just say about this, or if you have any doubts, so you can ask me. Any doubts? One second. What did I do? Okay, all right. So yes, so here Udan batch. Okay, so this one Udan batch, so this is for class 9 also, it is available. Okay, so Udan batch, the mode of delivery is Hindi over here. Okay, so it has the batch, that is Udan batch, has started from the 1st of Feb. So so some of recordings which are available, so you can watch the recordings, and also the live class which are yet to happen, so you can attend those live classes also. So here also recordings will be available. Okay, so this one is a champions batch, the mode of delivery is English here, and the other one it is Hindi. Okay, also we are conducting a one shot revision, so that means basically one shot revision on a topic, and also we are conducting a poll war. Okay, so this is in special class of Unacademy. Okay, so this is special class of Unacademy. So all you need to do is download the app and attend these classes. Okay, so class 9 and 10, class 11 and 12. Okay, so for all these classes the poll war is being conducted, and the one shot revision also is being conducted. So this has started in the Feb month itself. Okay, and so I am conducting a poll war on biology, so you can attend my session tomorrow at so I am conducting a poll war on skeleton system itself. Okay, so on skeletal system, okay, so skeletal system I am conducting a poll war tomorrow. Okay, so you can attend this session. So this is gonna help you crack your finals also, as I'll be bringing the questions which are from your textbook itself. Okay, so textbook itself means not the exercise part, from your textbook only the questions which are derived. Okay, so how to watch my special classes? So all you need to do is download the Unacademy learner app. Okay, so download this app, then from there you can open the app and click on get started. So you will find this option, so you can click on get started there. Okay, so enter your mobile number and a OTP. So this is just for your information itself. So you can enter your mobile number and the OTP. Also you need to enter your full name, so that you will be creating your account, so with the email address again. Okay, so email address that you need to choose, and also your name that you need to enter here. Okay, so then there is a competitive exam section available, and the class 6 to 12 section is also available. So what goal are you preparing for? So you are preparing for class 6 to 12 now. Okay, so that is because you are in ICSE class 9, class 10, ISCE 11, 12. So you might be in any of these batches. So you can select class 6 to 12 there. Okay, so once you select, here it is shown only CBSE, but ICSE category is also available. So you can choose ICSE class 9, 10, or maybe ISC. Okay, so you can choose ISC class 11, 12. So this is also done. So you need to select your class, then you can choose the language of your preference. So let's say you want to learn it in English, or maybe Hindi or English. So any of this fine, and you can click on the next there. Okay, so go to the description of this video, you will find a special class link also. So you can click on notify me just for the classes to get, so just before the classes, so 10 minutes before the classes, so you'll be getting a notification. Okay, and you can also use my code, just a second. Okay, so you can also use my code Vani YT. Okay, so this is my referral code. I'll write it here, it is not visible. Okay, so Vani YT is my referral code. So with this referral code, so let's say you are planning to take a subscription, so you will be getting 10% discount on the subscription. Okay, and you can use this code to unlock also. So there are many free products that are available on Unacademy, so you can use those. I mean, you can take special classes or quizzes. So let's say prodigy test. So any of these when you find, so you can use the code VANIYT to unlock the courses. Okay, that is the free courses itself. So this is my referral code for unlocking and also for 10% discount. All right, so get in touch with your counselor. So if you are having any confusion about the preparation journey or about the subscription or the latest offer, so you can just call this number. And if you are planning on taking a subscription, so you can use this referral code to get 10% off. So it is VANIYT. Okay, so download the Unacademy app now and try all of these features for free. And this is my referral code. Okay, so referral code with this one, okay, unlocking is also available, 10% is also available, that is 10% discount. So you can use the referral code VANIYT. Okay, so you can also subscribe to us, that is on Unacademy ICSE. Okay, so ICSE and ISC boards channel, so you can subscribe there. And so start downloading the app, that is Unacademy app, so that you can unlock many of the free objects that are there. So free products like special classes, quizzes, so you will have access to all of that. And if you like the special classes, the way special classes are conducted, then you can go for the plus subscription also. As in the plus classes, the classes will be done in a regular manner, but in case of a special classes, so random topic is chosen and it will be covered there. So if you are planning on going for a plus subscription, so you can use my referral code VANIYT. Okay, so Vani is my name, YT is for YouTube channel, so you can use VANIYT. Okay, so see you all in the next session. Bye bye everyone, thank you so much.